They want me to change, but I ain't changing. Nah, I remain the same.
And you are now tuned into another episode of Intellectually Petty Radio, brought to you in concert with a beautiful Machine magazine, as well as the mighty Nerd DJs Radio Network. You already know, man. Week after week, year after year, day after day, we only rock with legends around here. And today is absolutely no exception. One of the dopest motherfuckers to ever work for a record company in the history of LPs and CDs. Drew Rives is in the building, and I'm pretty sure I pronounced that correctly because I asked him beforehand. How you doing? How you doing, King?
I'm blessed. And yes, sir, you did get it right. Thank you.
Oh, no doubt, man. How's your family?
Hey, man, everybody's good. Well, actually, I can't say everybody's good. My wife just lost her uncle, but other than that, we're dealing with that right now. But other than that, God is good, man.
All the time, man. And my
all the time, God is good. Yes, sir.
To her and you and y'all family, man.
Thank you.
Truly sorry to hear that. Yo, 30 years at Def Jam. Give me the first day and the last day.
The first day. Actually, I want to say the first day I was on a plane flying to Kansas City for a tour that was going on. I think it was the Hard Knock Life tour, and I believe that that was the tour that had Jay and DMX and Ja Rule and Red and Meth and all their little cliques. And I want to say I flew to Kansas City to work the tour that night, and I think that was my first day. The last day, I had a party. I had a party, a nice ass party.
In the offices?
No. We stopped. See, I work local, so I work from Detroit, so I don't work from the office in New York. The good folks at Def Jam Universal / Republic were nice enough to throw me a 30th anniversary party, and actually it was a surprise party, and a lot of I was very surprised because a lot of friends and family and a lot of important people and tastemakers in the city and DJs and record store owners that I've dealt with over the years, and a couple of close artists that I've been blessed to work with showed up. So it was definitely a surprise party, and I had a great time.
The Hard Knock Life tour. Now I've seen Jay-Z talk about DMX performing.
Yeah.
And how powerful it was. What was it like the first time you standing on the side of the stage and watching X?
Man, I mean, first of all, the whole scene, the whole thing was crazy because, I mean, even though I had worked with these cats before, I had worked with them already, from the retail side.
Mm-hmm.
So I already knew most of them. So just to be backstage and see all these, Swiss Beats coming back, and at young Swiss Beats and X and his crew and Red and his crew and Meth and his crew and what's my girl Emil and then Jay and the Rock team, and it was just that in itself was something amazing. So then the show, the performance, everybody held their own. I mean, Red and Meth kicked it off and they did their thing, and but yeah, when X came in, shut it down because he just had so much energy. And then he stopped and did a prayer. Like, okay, fuck all that shit. Y'all pray with me now. So, it was not to say that the artists these days don't perform,
mm-hmm.
but those cats performed. Red and Meth is flying through the air. I mean, everybody just had their own thing that they was doing, and X just happened to be the one that you know that shut that motherfucker down, did his thing.
I don't know if artists these days have the ability to look forward to stadium performances, though.
I'm here to say, to be honest with you, I don't. I went to a show not too long ago, and I'm looking and I'm saying, you know, they got the audience doing most of the singing and rapping, and I'm like, well, what are we paying you for? If we doing all the singing and rap, and what the, you know, you just standing there. What the performances, the that whole give you a show thing is not the same as it was back in the day. Back in the day, I mean, shit. LL is still one of the best performing artists on the stage ever.
Crazy.
I mean, at his age, he's still giving you, you know, energy. Jeezy, I'm watching, you know, even though he's doing the thing now with the orchestra, the tour that he's got going on now, but I'm looking at him, and even him, you know, these are artists that I started out with, you know, him and Luda and you know, all these artists I started out with. So to see them from then to now, and seeing that some of them are still going and still got that energy and that still got that drive is something in itself, something to be said about that. So these artists these days, you may see them one time, they get one good song in, they do one tour, and you ain't heard from them again.
You know, it's crazy. I interviewed Curtis Daniels a few years ago, and he was talking about because his studio hosted Jeezy's listening party for Soul Survivor.
Okay.
And nigga, when he was
here in Detroit,
no, it was in Atlanta.
Oh, in Atlanta. Oh, okay.
At the studio he recorded at.
Yeah.
And man, when he talked about when that song came on, like you could just see the energy in his body shift.
Yeah.
And that memory caused such a positive impact on him as a person.
Yeah.
Do you have a moment like that was just one of those moments where it wasn't just about like this person sold X amount of records, but they made me feel a certain type of way when I heard them for the first time?
Ooh, man, that's a lot of artists I feel like that.
Really?
Oh yeah. Because you got to remember that we worked with we had a lot of artists come through those doors. The Def Jam label. Think about all the imprints that were under Def Jam. You had Rockefeller, you had Murder Inc., you had Rough Riders. Well, not the whole Rough Riders imprint, but a couple of Rough Riders artists. You had Eric Sermon. I mean, you had good music. You had all these imprints under this one label. So you had all these superstars, you know, coming through. So yeah, it was a lot of them. I mean, Jeezy first and foremost. I mean, I all day it's like, yo, okay, this nigga about to make a killing.
That nigga can do no wrong in Detroit.
Like that. And then, but just as much as you see some that make you say, wow, or go, you know, had that. But then again, it was just, I guess, me working them. It was a different feeling, but you see a lot coming, you see a lot go. So you see right off the bat who are those artists that's gonna put in work and who's gonna be here for the longevity, who's gonna be here for a while, and then you see the ones that might have, you know, a short shelf life and is not gonna be around for a second album or even get a first album.
Who stands out as far as somebody where you just knew they were about to do the damn thing, and for whatever reason just didn't?
There was a few of those too. There was because there was some that I like really fucked with, and I thought they should have just been that deal. There was this R&B cat, B. Smith. He died not too long ago too, but I thought he was dope. I thought he was going to be a superstar. I thought Juelz Santana should have been a lot bigger than what he was.
I agree with you.
I thought Juelz should have been a lot bigger than what
Was
he
that
was.
was that a Juelz problem or was that a record label problem?
See, I don't, I can't really speak on that because I mean, I know what I saw, what but I mean, when we were about to drop the album, there was, I think there was some transitions going on around that time too. So he might have got caught up in that, but it just never happened for him. And I thought Juelz was dope. I thought he was, man. There was a few artists that I just thought was so dope that just.
I'm not a Dipset fan at all. Completely the opposite. Not at all. But Juelz, Juelz was different.
Yeah. Juelz was nice.
Yeah, when that dude, he was fabulous.
Yeah.
He was what he should have. You know what I'm saying? Fabulous had a phenomenal career, and I thought Juelz would have a similar career.
Yeah. There's a few of them that, and there's some of them there to no fault of their own that they didn't make it. Some of them got caught up in the politics and bullshit, and some of them just got caught up because they weren't. It wasn't for them. They see they get into this thinking that it's all fun and games, but once you get signed, that's when the work really begins. You think you put in work before you got to that point? Nah, now you really got to work because you got to prove why this label signed you to this deal for this amount of money to put out this many albums to do whatever it is that you do. You got to really prove yourself now. So if you're not ready to do that and you're not ready to step up, I'll say this: it's not as busy now as it was back then.
Okay.
Because back then we would take artists out on the road. We would take them out and do little promo runs. We have them on the road for about a good week or so. Sometimes 7 days. Just running them from city to city, different places. Trying to set up different things. Set up the album that's about to drop. Set up do listening parties for them. Take them to retail stores. Take them to radio. Do interviews. And we would spend all this time with these artists, but next to the product manager, the A&R, and probably their manager, we were the closest things to them. So so we were kind of responsible for them. So it was our duty to break these artists. So back then, like I said, they would work, and like you could tell then who was going to, from their work ethic, who was going to last and who wasn't. And then and nowadays they don't do that. They don't do that like they did back then. They still might do a quick little run. They might hit 1 or 2 cities, but they don't do it like they did it like we did it back then. So it's a lot different now.
You introduced Kanye and Big Sean, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I was with Ye when he first started.
Really?
But I knew his people too. I knew his people when he first came out too. So that was a big help. But yeah, he was doing a radio. We were doing one of those promo runs, and we were in Detroit and we were at the radio station and he kept following us around. This kid was at the station. He was like, "Yo, beat it, kid. We're working here," And he was persistent. He was persistent. He waited until we finished. And then Ye's tour manager Don C said, "Go, let's see what you got." And he stepped there, he's spitting. We all looked at each other like shit. So then the rest was history. Now, about maybe a month later, a few weeks later, Don C called me and was like, "Yo, remember that kid that rapped for us outside the radio stations?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "You think you can get in touch with him?" I said, "Sure, yeah." I had no fucking clue. But I made a couple of calls. I called my man Lieutenant Dre, and then I think Dre made a call, and then and they gave me his number, so I called him. I said, "Look, I wanted to make sure it's the right number and everything, let him know that he was like, who is this?" I said, told him who it was, Drew from Def Jam. It's like, "Yo, Kanye wants to sign you. He's gonna be calling." Then they called him and they signed him. And he sat there for a while. He sat there for a good while because actually I had moved to Miami and came back and had just started working a single for him. So it was a minute before they actually put him to work. But yeah, I was a part of that whole process. Yeah.
How difficult was it breaking him?
Nah, it wasn't difficult. It wasn't difficult at all. First of all, I mean, he had put in that work. He had put in a lot of work. He had been out here already working. He had, he was doing this thing on the ciphers, and already had a few mixtapes out. So he had already laid the groundwork. He had already put in that work, and that's what a lot of people don't realize. You got to put in that work. Now they think all you got to do is push a button or put it on YouTube or put it in, and then boom, you're a superstar. It kind of does work a little bit like that, but it doesn't. But he had already put in work, so then the first single that came out was him and Chris Brown. So come on, Chris Brown, that's a layup. So yeah, it wasn't hard at all. Plus he had hit records, and Sean is very talented. He learned how to market himself and make himself a superstar, which he already was. So it wasn't hard at all.
Although, for whatever reason, and I'm gonna leave Big Sean topic alone after this, but that nigga does not get the credit he deserves amongst his peers, because it should not just be a J. Cole, Drake, and Kendrick situation. Because Big Sean been putting up numbers and been putting up bars for the same amount of time and doing his thing, and y'all niggas is tripping.
Yeah, preach. Let them know. Let them know.
Yo, you from Detroit? So fucking what? The nigga's dope.
Yeah.
Speaking of Detroit, the Detroit wave that's occurred over the last few years.
Yeah.
What are they doing wrong where it's not bigger, and what did they do right to get to where they're at?
It should definitely be a lot bigger, and maybe that's probably my fault, and probably part of a lot of the fault that the people around, because at one point I really had my ear to the streets, and I really was into what was going on with a lot of the local scene, local artists and different stuff, like, I guess after a while, people thought I was too big to come out and hear their local artists rap, or so for whatever reason they wouldn't invite me out to listen or whatever. So I guess they thought I was too busy. I probably was, but the last artist that I will say, I did try to get a few artists signed from here. I'll say that.
Anybody in particular?
But somebody else always beat us to beat us to it. Like I tried to get Ice with Vezel signed. I tried to get him signed to Def Jam. I tried to get the one that I do miss that I didn't try to get signed was Sada Baby. And I remember doing a Heineken event for DJ BJ and seeing him perform, and I knew right then that was going to be something special because he had his own style. Yes. So that's one that I missed. There's a few that people were telling me that they had told me about but I don't. If I saw him and I knew, trust me, I was going to put a word into Def Jam's ear. But if it wasn't brought to my attention, I missed him, then that got under the door for me, so I missed that one. But yeah, I mean, it should definitely be a lot bigger. Detroit got a lot of fucking talent, the Midwest period, but Detroit is on fire, and there's still so many artists that haven't been touched. Now you got the females that's starting to do their thing, so it's a lot going on here. That's why it's hard for me to say I'm stepping away from this music thing, but I think that I still got a lot to contribute. But hey, look, I got to do what I got to do.
Yo, you fuck with Detroit Diamond?
A little bit. I'm slowly but surely getting into it. I didn't get a chance to watch on the show, so I'm gonna probably do that. But I tried to catch her when they did the performance down at Hart Plaza. I missed her, and I missed Claire Siobhan. I want to check her out too. It was another young lady that performed that I was trying to check out too. But like I said, the ladies are doing their thing, man. They coming on strong. But yeah, Detroit Diamond. Yeah, definitely going to want to check her out a little bit more. And but I see she's on fire.
I know my niggas gonna hate me, but I'm not a Claire fan.
You say you're not?
No. No.
We ain't got to get into the reasons why. But I
Home
mean, I'm
team
just saying,
first,
she's
bro.
doing her thing though.
Home team first.
She's making noise, huh?
But that is part of the problem. I think why Detroit artists as a whole have not really captured the nation like they deserve to is because they given them, and I've said this before, they given away the secret sauce.
Yeah, yeah.
They letting too many niggas, too many people, just too many people in general that's not within the 313 area code come eat off of them.
Yeah, 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 yeah. You're right. You're right. You're
You
right.
know,
You're right.
Atlanta
I
is a textbook way of how to do things.
and it's a lot of major artists that got a lot of love for a lot of these Detroit artists too. I know Jeezy got mad love for a lot of the Detroit artists. LL, when I was with him last time I was with him, he was telling me how much he fuck with a lot of the Detroit artists, and the sound, the whole sound, the feel, and everything. So I know last few times I had artists come through, it's like, oh, I want to see such and such. Can we cook up with such and such? So they really, but yeah, you're right. They were eating off of them, but now and see, you about to get me started, man. Let's
That's what
move
you
on.
on here for, man. Get started. What the fuck? Come on, bro. We ain't doing that. You
No, I
retired
mean,
now anyway.
I feel that still a lot of teaching that needs to be done. I mean, I got a lot of I think that's one of the reasons why I probably never was like a president or of a company, because I would have took the whole city with me. I'm telling you, I would took the whole city of Detroit with me, and all the artists that I was trying to put that I tried to get signed, was trying to put on, I told them that they was dope. Man, I would have had everybody up in that motherfucker.
Let me ask you this question then.
Huh?
As an OG in the music industry,
Yeah, yeah.
where did you fail Detroit artists?
I think I want to say I didn't give up on them, but I think there was a point where there were some things, because let's see, okay, well, you probably don't know this, but
Go ahead.
me and my brother Laron, we had a company, Coin Handlers, where we were riding. He was doing the same thing I was doing at one point. He was working for Atlantic at the time, and we used to go on the road together. Go do our travels and different things, and we said to each other, man, look. We got it's a lot going on in the city. A lot of artists that need education, need to be taught. How to we feel that we could do this. So so let's start a company. So we sat down, we figured put together a business plan, thought about how we was gonna do it, and said, okay, we're gonna put together a management team. So we put together a management team with the thoughts of teaching first and then enriching. Making sure that empowering and enriching. But I think along the way, I got a little disappointed, I should say. In I guess in the way that now there was some there was now we had an amazing stable of artists. We had producers, we had artists, we had a nice little team, period. Damn, I'm thinking about look. See, I don't even know if I could say the names, because I mean we had some names. See, I would have to have
watching this right now. Go ahead, you can say whatever you want.
I would have to have my brother on here so we could talk about it together. I can't, I don't want to talk about it. But that was one of the things. I felt that because we had so much time in working with these companies and working with these artists, we knew what it would take in order to break an artist or create an artist of our own, or but not just any artist. Detroit artists. We felt that this is what Detroit needed, and we put something together that we thought was amazing, and I think we accomplished some pretty good things. I think we still had a lot of unfinished business to do. One, he ended up moving to Houston, and then we kind of just got away from us a little bit. So we had some unfinished business we had to do. So I think if there was somewhere where I failed him, it was probably that.
Okay, so this is the question that I ask everybody that comes on the show. Has absolutely nothing to do with anything, but here goes. You are sitting on a park bench, and God sits down next to you, and he or she says you can ask them one question. What would it be?
Man, why you want to ask me something like that?
Hey, you did your research, bro. You should have seen this question coming.
Yeah. You actually, I think I saw you when you asked. I think you asked Trap Dicky the same question.
I did.
I think you asked him the same question. So
I
you're right.
did.
I should have seen it.
Trap Dicky is fucking fire too, by the way.
He is, man. He is. I think I just saw that they about to put his album out. So that's a good look for him. But yeah, he's dope. He was one that I was looking forward to working with. Why did he give his life to save us? That's what I would ask him.
I was technically he gave his son's life.
Oh, wait a minute. What did you say? You said God.
Yes.
Why did he have his son give his life for us? Why did he?
It's a little easier. I'm God. I can make any son. You know. I'm sorry, God. Don't be mad at me.
You're right. Look, you trying to start some up in here, man.
No, I'm not, bro. That's why I apologize immediately. I'm sorry. I knew I was wrong. I repent. Does church play a role for you?
Hell yeah. Hell yes. I said, we talk about church and I say hell yes. No, definitely. I mean, I was brought up and raised in the church. I tried to start doing gospel rap before anybody. But yeah, church is very important in my life. I mean, I'm still very active in church. Always have been, even when I moved to different cities. When I moved to Miami, one of the first things I did was join a church. When I lived in Cleveland, I made sure I joined the church. Doing a little bit of time in Chicago, I made sure I had a church there. Even if I was on the road with an artist and we had some downtime and it was on a Sunday, find a church to go to. But yeah, church is a major part in my life. Always has been and always will be.
At what point did you realize that behind the scenes was for you?
When damn, I don't know when I realized it, because I always thought that I was still somehow, some way was going to break out and be a part. Well, no, I think when I found out that there was something else besides being an artist that I could do. And I don't think that happened until, let's see, I was working at the record store, and then the guys that were coming, that I became one of them. Yeah, when they called me and said, we want you to come work for us. When Polygram PGD called me and said, we want you to come work for us, and I saw there was something I could do behind the scenes that was just as important as being an artist, and I think that was it.
Okay, let's go back a little bit though. What record store were you working at before all this shit jumped off?
It was a store called Blockbuster Music, and Blockbuster Music actually came from Blockbuster Video. It was a division of Blockbuster Video, which they bought Sound Warehouse. Sound Warehouse was record stores back in the day. I don't know if you know, there was mostly, I don't think we had one in the city. It was mostly in the suburbs. The one that I worked at or started at was out there in Oakland Mall, across the street from Oakland Mall.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Man, if you don't stop that shit, bro.
No, because some things transpired, some things happened, and I said, you know what, man, bump this. I'm about to go get me a job. It was. I think Christmas was coming up. And I said, I'm about to go get me a job, and what I was doing at the time was kind of on hold. So I did that, and I went out that way, and I got the job at Sound Warehouse. and across the street at Oakland Mall at I think it was Macy's. It wasn't Hudson's, it was Macy's. So I was working both of those, and then Sound Warehouse. After the holiday help was up, they was like, we want you to stay on if you want to do it. I said, sure, why not? Fuck it. I was only supposed to be there for a minute, but it's like, hey, okay, let's go. So I ended up doing so well, they ended up promoting me, moved me to another store over on in Royal Oak, over on 12 Mile of Woodward. So then assistant manager over there. Then they promoted me again, became another manager. Then after that, they ended up moving me to. They started these new prototype stores. This is a store where you can go in, and we had headphones set up in different stations. You can go in, you can put the headphones on, listen to the music before you buy it. And we had this big music station in the middle of it where we could play anything in the store. And there was stations set up there too. You can come sit down. You can listen to about 2 or 3 different albums, 4 or 5, whatever you want to listen to. Sit there, and then whatever you want to buy, you could buy. Whatever you didn't, we repackaged it, resold it. But the store was right across the street from Northland Mall, and at that time they had Sam Goody over there. And
Northland is crazy, by the way.
Oh yeah, Northland, fucking Northland, man.
Yo, man, I grew up on 7 Mile in Southfield.
Oh, okay.
So we would walk to Northland.
Damn.
Yo,
damn.
Nigga. Yeah, I grew up in Northland Mall.
I'm sure that close to it. Shit.
Oh my God, yo. Totally unrelated. I'm walking to the mall with my cousin E. And for some reason, I decided to throw a big ass brick at just a random ass stop sign, and the stop sign threw it right back at me. Right in the face.
Damn,
one of the most embarrassing moments of my life.
did it hurt you? Did it maim you?
It hurt my pride more than anything else.
Okay,
yeah, because my cousin was laughing like it.
Yo, look, you just better be happy that stop sign couldn't talk. Shit, it talked all kinds of.
I don't know. It kind of did. Get the fuck away from me! and threw that brick right back at me. Yo, I was matter of fact, I want to say it was Beautiful Machine magazine. I can't remember if it was Beautiful Machine, but I saw where 700 million albums.
Yeah, I worked a lot of artists, man. I'm telling you, I worked a lot of freaking artists. We had a lot of artists.
Who surprised you the most as an artist? Who surprised you? Their success surprised you the most? Damn, I don't know, because like I said earlier, some of them was expected once I got a chance to work with them and saw their work ethic. It was expected. So who surprised me? Because I don't think there were any that I didn't believe in. Really?
I can't.
I come across an artist where you like, oh, this nigga is trash, and they just happen to have a crazy work ethic and blew up. I know. See, I know you. You're not gonna say, because I see the look on your face, and there's somebody that came to your mind immediately.
But yeah, there was so many that was so dope. I enjoy working all of my artists.
Bro, you retired, nigga. Damn, give us something. Oh my God. So are you really retired, or are you just retired from Def Jam?
I believe I'm retired.
Oh boy.
You know what? I'll put it this way. I'm listening to offers. I'm listening to, I'm taking phone calls. I'm listening to offers. A lot of people in my ear about different things that, they would like to partner on or do different things with, or get my have me a part of, and different things. So I'm listening to offers and entertaining, see what's happening. But Yeah, I've been working since I was 11 years old, and I just don't, being still has not been me. It's never
What was
been.
you doing at 11, bro?
I was a paper boy at fucking 11 years old.
I tried that shit, man. Some nigga tried to kidnap me. I stopped doing that. I'm
Yo,
dead ass.
this shit happened to me too.
Yes.
He pulled a gun out on me and my brother in my neighborhood.
Wild. Yeah.
He ended up. He's like, man, you know what? Y'all young, man. Y'all see y'all out here doing. Y'all think y'all making y'all money, man. I'm gonna leave, and he left us alone. I'm like, what was the point of trying to fucking rob us anyway? If you whatever, he let us go. So, but yeah.
Nigga pulled a gun out on 2 kids and then got
on 2 kids.
I mean, good thing he got the conscience, but really?
Right. Exactly.
So when they call you from Polygram and you're still working at the record station, do you believe them, and B, what specifically was the job offer?
It was a field rep, and yes, I believed them because they were the same guys that were coming to. They were coming to the store. They would come to the store and they would tell me about it was different companies too, and it was Polygram, and like I said, they had all that stuff up under them, and then it was MCA, then it was Universal, it was Warner Brothers, so it was a lot of different record companies, and they would always come through. And they would bring me product, posters. They would bring posters to put up in the stores, and samples, CD samplers, before anybody else could get it. And they would tell us about what's coming out, play music for us, and everything, and just educating us on what was happening. So one day they came in, and they would also invite us to listening parties, different things and concerts and stuff like that. So like I said, I was already getting to meet a lot of different artists and people and stuff already from going to these listening parties and the concerts and doing meet and greets and stuff, so they would always set all that stuff up. And then my man Tim Smith came in, him and Bill Walden, they came in and they said, what you think about coming to work for us? I was like, I kind of love what I'm doing here at this record store. I got some pretty good hours. I'm making some good money. I got benefits. I'm talking about music to people. And they said, well, just come in for the interview. So I went in for the interview. Actually, I just had a lunch with the guy that hired me at Polygram. I just had lunch with him a couple of days ago. Yeah, he was in town, so we just had lunch and we were reminiscing. But so he sat me down, he gave me the interview, and I still had to think about it. And so they like, well, here we're gonna add some benefits on it. So he always likes to tell the story about how I almost turned him down. He loves telling this story. So yeah, they hired me, and it was for a field rep. And what I would do is go around to the record stores, just what they were doing. The guy that approached me, I would go around to the record stores. Somebody had got promoted, so they needed to fill that spot. So I would go around to the record stores. I would cover the whole Midwest, and I would go to the record stores, do the same thing they do, put posters up, give them CDs, and tell them about different things that was going on. And then I got promoted to artist development rep, and they moved me to Cleveland. So that was in, I believe, 96. So they moved me to Cleveland. Then I stayed in Cleveland for about 3 years, and then I got the call from Johnny Walker at Def Jam. She's like, well, actually, in between all that, there was a couple of things that went down. Like there was a merger that had happened when Universal and Polygram had merged.
I'm trying to think what the fuck was going on in Cleveland music-wise during that time frame.
Well, it's funny you should ask. Because at the time, Bone Thugs and Harmony. Now, you remember, Def Jam was always the label. People would follow, other labels would follow us.
Def Jam was the label.
Yes. We were the creators. Everybody else would follow what we were doing.
Yes.
So then of course, every now and then you have some other people to come out with, so Bone Thugs and Harmony came out. We didn't have Bone Thugs and Harmony, but we had Flesh and Bone.
You mean the one that went to prison?
The one that went to prison. He went to prison while we were working the damn album. Right. So we couldn't get no real traction out of it. But
did you have the opportunity to get Bone though?
Yeah, exactly. So we had about, and just like Wu-Tang. Wu-Tang was with a whole nother, but we had a couple of the artists. We had Meth and we had Ghost.
No. But my question, though, I'm sorry to cut you off, but did y'all have the opportunity to sign Bone before Easy?
Oh, no, I don't think so. I don't think
Okay.
so. You know what? Then again, I'm not sure. They probably did approach him, but by them being on the West Coast, it probably didn't. It probably was probably went a different direction. So, but I don't think. Then again, they might have. There could have been some things back, where Russell passed on them and let him, So I see that happen a few different times.
He passed on Madonna.
I remember partying with her in Miami one time.
Really? Madonna?
Madonna.
So can you talk about that part? Because I don't know. Like, Madonna seemed like she was wild in the motherfucker back in the day.
I mean, it was at a club called the Fat Black Pussycat. Fat Black Pussycat. And she just happened to pop in, and we were there for some reason. Why was we there? I think we were having meetings or something. And she came in, and then we just ended up partying with her. We all drinking the chat, so it wasn't nothing elaborate, but yeah, we ended up partying with her.
Yo, how many niggas can say they party with Madonna though? In the grand scheme of things, if you're in that circle, probably a lot. But
yeah, probably maybe.
Yo, what was the low point in your 30 years?
My low point?
Yes.
I don't think I had one. I honestly could say I don't think I had one. I mean, there might have been a time where we didn't have a lot of records to work, and that might have been something, but that wasn't anything that I could control. But other than that, I don't think I really had any low points, man. I live a life that a lot of people, and the crazy thing about it is I don't see it as that because I'm a behind the scenes person. So, and that's why I'm tripping on all this, hoopla about me doing this whole 30-year bid and because I was behind the scenes person. I didn't get a lot of credit for a lot of shit that I put together, a lot of stuff that we did that I came up with.
Do you regret that?
Huh?
Do you look back and be like, damn, I should have said something to get the credit on X?
Nah, because I think it still added to the bigger picture. Okay. Because I was a part of a team. I was always a part. I enjoyed being part of a team. And throughout those 30 years, there was some amazing teams and interns and assistants that helped get me through a lot of stuff. So, if my creative juice wasn't happening, but I had an intern that's intern that had brought some young energy to it and said, yo, well, what about this? What about that kind of thing that always, but then again, being a part of those teams too, because we had some great freaking teams that broke a lot of damn records, man. That we did a lot of stuff that a lot of people didn't think we were going to do. And then, like I was saying earlier about the artists, I mean, the imprint labels that we had, think about all the, we were supposed to be a hip hop label, but then we had some of the baddest R&B cats around. I mean, we had Case, we had Montel Joy, and this is on Def Soul. So we're not even talking about once we got to like the Music Soul Child and Jeremiah and Neyo, songwriter and the Dream. We had songwriter, producer, and artists. There was some of the baddest cats around.
Yo, Neyo and the Dream, bro.
Records for Mariah Carey, bro.
Mariah
Carey got hits for Mariah Carey. I got plaques for Mariah Carey.
What's she like? Is she a nice person? I just need to know.
I got plaques for Mariah Carey.
All right, we're gonna move on. Dude, that was fucked up too, bro.
No, I only met her once, but actually I met her a couple of times. I got a chance to work with her a couple of times. No, she was cool. Then again, I mean, it's me. A lot of people love me, man. People love me, so once they got a chance to work with me and saw my work ethic, and that they didn't want to go out work me, they had no choice but to love me. A lot of my artists, especially a lot of the old school artists, because like I said, you got a chance to spend a lot of time with a lot of these artists, and you gotta be in the car riding with them for hours at a time. So you can either get on their nerves or you can become their best friend. A lot of them they love me because they knew I was all about business, and when it was time to get shit done, I got shit done.
I watched the interview. I'm pretty sure you've seen it, of Irv Gotti.
Yeah,
Rest easy, King.
yes, sir.
Talking about listening in the club and telling them that there was a problem. At what point does Def Jam say this nigga 50 is out of control and he can't do anything about it?
We didn't say that shit. We wasn't worried. I mean, that is
stop
what
it,
it
bro.
is. Hey,
At some point, niggas at Def Jam was worried about 50.
we wasn't worried, man. We
Are
wasn't
you
worried.
serious, bro?
No, you know what though? I will tell you. I will tell you this. It was hard for me to move around the city. It was hard for me to move around the city because of my affiliation with.
Really?
Yeah. There was a couple of clubs that they wouldn't even let me in the doors, and then when I had them in, I don't think we went out though. I think we were supposed to go out to a couple of after parties or something, but we did. But when I did have them in Ja in town for a couple of times that I had him, he came in, did what he had to do, but yeah, it was hard. It was like, nah, you fucking work with Murder Inc. and Ja Rule and you, nah. So yeah, it was nasty for a minute.
Yo, that's a part of the story that you've never heard. Like, I didn't know.
Oh look, I got some wild
everybody.
stories. It was a lot of
Give me the wildest story you
Huh?
got that you feel comfortable telling me.
That one that I just told you.
Besides that one.
I don't know. You know what? I this one I got one. I remember Jay-Z. He was on the tour. I think Jeezy. It was no, not I think I know. It was Jeezy and Trey Songz was on the tour. I think it was Trey Songz. Yeah, and they were out at the Palace.
Mm-hmm.
And we out there at the show. And I remember Beyonce was there because we all sitting in the same section. I actually ended up having to help her security because she had one security guard with her, and I knew all. It wasn't Hugo. It was I can't remember his name now, but I knew all the security guards. See, and one of the things you have to realize, when dealing with a lot of these artists, because some of them, as long as you know the security guy and you know their right hand man, you good. You good. You good money. If you don't know them two, don't even try. All that trying. Nah, it don't matter who you are. But then to like I said, a lot of my artists really fuck with me anyways. So anyway, we at the show, and Jay doing his thing, and then Jeezy comes out, and Jeezy had that motherfucker rocking. Jay had to come out. When he came back out, he had to change his set around because he saw how Jeezy had that shit gangstified out. So he had to change his second setup. And it was, hearing being backstage and then hearing him talking about it, I was like, damn, he got that motherfucker rocking. So then he had to switch some things up. So he didn't have to change his whole setup, but he changed a few songs up and did some things that he didn't ordinarily do on the whole tour to do something else.
Jay-Z a petty nigga. I've heard,
but he's a genius. He's a genius.
Crazy and genius is a fine line. As the petty, Jay-Z is a petty nigga, and I'm all look, bro. You see the sign. I'm all for the petty, so it's not. I'm petty too.
Yeah, intellectually petty. Yeah, that's you.
Absolutely, Jay-Z is.
Now he was always cool to work with. I always liked working with him. He was always good people to work with. He always showed me a lot of love. I remember when he had moved on from Def Jam, he was over at Atlantic. And he did a show. We was in Cleveland. I was with my man LaRon. He was working them then. So I remember we went to one of the shows, and as soon as he saw me, he gave me the head nod, walked up. And he don't, he's standoffish, especially if you don't really know you, if he don't fuck with you like that. So for him to actually stand up and give me some dap and walk over to me, that was love. And then that whole night was just magical anyways on some other shit because, yeah. So, but
Yo, that's crazy. You brought up LeBron. Like in Cleveland, I've been in Cleveland for about 25 years plus.
okay. Oh
Big
yeah, I
Hell.
got family out there. I saw my man Johnny O had said something.
He's
I
a
love
nerd
Cleveland.
DJ. It's right there, bro. It's a nerd DJ
Yeah. I
radio
love Cleveland.
logo.
I lived in Cleveland for 3 years.
Yo, man, Johnny O is my guy, and I'm a nerd. I'm a
Johnny
nerd.
O was one of the first ones that him and Wild C. Did you know Wild C?
I did not.
Oh man, they were the first two that kind of like took me in and took me under their wings and showed me the ropes and the Cleveland, that Cleveland lifestyle and everything, and not knowing that these two is that
They
deal
are
in
those
Cleveland,
guys.
and
Yes.
they just took me in and embraced me, and it's been love all ever since then.
Yeah, I think because I used to rap when I came here. So
Oh yeah,
Molly T was the guy for me. Like he had the best studio here that I knew of. And Big Hef. Like
yeah,
Big Hef knew he still does,
yeah,
but Hef knew every fucking body
yeah,
decades ago.
yeah. That's my
And
guy. That's my guy.
LeBron was like the bridge between the streets and the radio station.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see,
Yeah,
man.
so Hef worked with us too. So a lot of people always, I saw your brother. I was like, my brother is like, yeah, Hef. I was like, they always called us brothers. But yeah, that Hef's my guy because a lot of times when I couldn't cover stuff, he would cover for me and make sure that some different differences. Or if we had double up different stuff, I would be in one place. So he was always covering whenever I couldn't cover it, or looking out on different stuff too. But yeah, Hef was always my guy too. Hef always shows love to us, still show love to this day. But yeah, the nerd DJs, a lot of cool people over that clique. But yeah, a lot of love for Cleveland, Ohio, definitely all day.
Yo, is there somebody that you brought to Def Jam that they didn't sign that they should have?
Boom, boom, boom. That I brought. Let me see. I don't think I actually got it. I made a few suggestions, and like I said, by the time they got to them, they were already gone. So I don't think I actually brought. No. Well, actually, no, not that they signed. No, I did bring a few people over, but no, that they signed. No,
That they didn't sign.
that they didn't sign. That they didn't sign?
Yes.
Oh shit! Hell yeah, shitload of them.
Worst case of that, like who went on to have ridiculous success, and you looking at your bosses like, yeah, nigga, I told you.
I mean, I don't think it's like I said. I don't think I missed too many of them. But yeah, I don't think I missed too many of them. So no, I don't think so.
1 hour is absolutely unfair with you, bro.
That's what I keep telling because most of them been this has actually probably been the longest, but most of them have been like 30. I say you can't squeeze 30 years in 30 minutes, especially with what I've done, what I've accomplished, and that's not even getting to the business part of the stuff. So a lot of we don't get a chance to touch on the business part of it. We don't get a chance to get into the wickedness of it. But yeah, it's kind of unfair.
Let's do a favor to the artists from this point on, business-wise. When they get that contract in front of them, what's the one thing they should automatically say no to?
Well, see, it's different now. The contracts that they used to offer back in the day, they don't offer now. It's a lot different. But one thing you shouldn't have to say no to. You should have a manager looking over that that's dealing with all of that. But the contracts that they have now is they kind of make it hard for you not to say no. I don't want to say they're not as lucrative as they were back in the day. But it all depends on how hot the artist is. So you just got to make sure you got all your right pieces in play especially when you go and sign with a label, because not to say that they will jerk you, but it is very easy to get jerked up. You just got to make sure you cross all the T's and dot all your I's and have it looked over 2 or 3 times before you sign something.
See,
People,
bro,
you know, a lot of, especially back in the day, they would just go in. They wanted to be an artist so bad. You want to be an artist so bad. And I'm just gonna sign it. You know, I will deal with the repercussions later. But no, when you find out what those repercussions are, you wish you had dealt with it then. So it's just a matter of paying attention what's in the contract.
it's a catch-22 because if Def Jam comes to say I got a really shitty contract,
Yeah.
but I'm Def Jam,
What you gonna do? You know,
it's really hard to say no to that.
it is. It is. It is. I know a few of my counterparts that used to work, that used to be a part of I know the guy that brought Music Soul Child. He worked with us. He was on our team. Actually, me and him came in together. Me and my guy Mike MacArthur. Me and him came in together at Def Jam, and he brought, him and his partner Jay Hips brought Music Soul Child, and my guy Louis Durant, he brought Jeremiah. I remember when he was working Jeremiah, he told me about it because I was helping him, you know, trying to shop him to help him get a deal. Jeremiah, who else? The guy that Lil Baby, the guy my guy Arnold. That managed him. He worked with us. So a lot of cats did have success, you know, coming from the label and making it. Oh, and my guy Tashawn with Neyo. So there's a lot of them that worked, you know, either on the same team, was also worked with us at Def Jam, that went on to have success with artists, you know, bringing them over to the label or just getting them signed. Period.
Yo, Neo had what is in the verses? Neo and I want to say Jonte Austin had the most underrated verses ever. This nigga Neo, bruh.
I think people fail to realize how really dope Neo is.
They do.
He was another artist that I got to work with from the beginning and got to spend a lot of time with and become cool with him and his management team. But like I said, I already knew a couple of the people, but they all became cool, you know, became good friends. But yeah, you know what? When you asked that question, the one that surprised me, I shouldn't say he surprised me because I saw it from the beginning. I saw how he was just out there doing it, and whenever we took him anywhere, he would just, the light would come on, and he would do him. He would turn into that star. I remember being in the studio with him before and watching him write a song. That was one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. We were in Miami. We were doing a promo run. I think we were doing some promo stuff. I think he was getting ready. He had shot a video and a few other things. And we went to Circle Studios. And I remember he was sitting in there. You know, first he'll hear the beat, play the beat a couple of times, then he'll grab his glove, put his glove on, start writing, be in his own little zone. Next thing you know, hit record.
Get this nigga say put his glove on.
He put the glove on. He had his Michael Jackson glove. He put his glove on, start writing it. Hits.
Yo.
Hits.
That's almost Missy Elliott. I forget who did I interview? I can't remember. But they were talking about Missy and how Missy never, ever, ever allows anybody to see her in the studio except the engineer.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
I can believe that.
I was just. What's the most eccentric in studio thing you've seen?
I don't know what a lot, because I didn't spend a lot of time in the studio, but when I did, it was always with let's see whoever I've been in with Khaled a few times. Been in with Will I Am once.
That's interesting.
Yeah. That was interesting. The Justice League. What was the Mother Cats out of Miami? I want to say I spent most of my studio time when when we had the label was. I don't. Everything happens in the studio, it used to. So it wasn't weird, I guess, at the time, but it It depends on who it is. It depends on the artist, because if they're in there to work and they know they got it, a lot of times they go and do what they got to do, and then they go play afterwards. I remember one time in Miami, I think it was my birthday. Yeah, as a matter of fact, it was my birthday, and we were in Miami. And this is when my man Shake was alive, and we all Rick Ross was there, and what's the producers? Oh shoot, Dre and
Cool.
Ace Hood. He was just getting started out. It was a whole bunch of us. So we were there in the studio, and everybody was in there doing their thing. So then found out it was my birthday. It's like, yo, we about to go out and party. We had this nice little caravan, about 10 cars. Everybody in 10 cars. Khaled gave me and his guy J1s. He gave us the Bentley. It's like, threw us the keys, like, oh shit, baby blue Bentley. So we pulled up. We all pulled up to the club. I think it was called Fifth Avenue. Caravan full of, took us all up in there. The motherfucking bouncer didn't want to let me in because I had shorts on. Like, hold on. They got on his motherfucking case. They're like, no, fuck, we'll all leave about this motherfucker if you don't let it. So we got in there, we partied, we had a good time. But yeah.
I'm a Khaled hater.
Really? Why?
Because he just seems talentless and a culture vulture.
Man, look.
Tell me why I'm wrong about DJ Khaled.
I remember going up to the station the first time meeting Khaled, and we just went up, and I was like, yo, this guy's loud. He's all over the place. So then we ended up becoming cool. So I remember when he did his first album, he called me up to the station. I didn't live that far from the station. Okay. So he called me up and he said, yo, come down to the station. I want you to hear something. So he went down to the radio station. He put the record. It's not I'm So Hood. I forgot which one it was, but I remember, it had Wayne on. I think it had Ace on. I forgot who all was. But I'm sitting there listening to it. And he just had this on black. I was like, yo, that shit's nasty. So then from that point on, him and I, we just
oh, come on. Not the Khaled redemption story cut off. Apparently, Drew got a telephone call. Yo, not the Khaled. See, this is why I hate you, Khaled. Yo. Oh, hold on. I'm hoping Drew can tap back in and finish the story before we dip him out of here. Yo, man. And I do apologize if you feel like I have not covered something. 30 years is a fucking long time, bro. You talk to somebody about 30 years of their life in an hour and see how much shit you get. Drew, you there? Yo, and we in a little OT, which we rarely do, but it's just, come on, bro. Anyway, I am Jobs, and I am the host of Intellectually Petty Radio. I do appreciate you for stopping by. Let's see, it's looking like Drew trying to tap back in. We might, because I need the rest of this Khaled story. I need to know, man, why? What is up with DJ Khaled? I just don't get it. And you know what? Call me a hater. It's okay. You wouldn't be the first person that said Jobs was hating. I've hated a lot. Yes, I have. People have hated on me, and it's okay. Actually, I need more haters. If we're gonna be honest, the more haters you got, the more successful you are. Let's just keep that. Let's keep that a buck. Yo, Drew, you there, bro?
Eh? Oh, there we go. There we go. All right,
yeah, I'm like, man, we got to get this Khaled story together. I'm still hating the nigga. It sounds better. I'm still hating the nigga.
No, because I'm telling you, if you see him work, so he made sure I was included in everything. Whenever there was a video mission, yo, we about to shoot the video, come up and shoot. Want you to be in the video, boom boom. Whatever was going on, he made sure I was included. And plus, that was around the same time that Ross was coming up, because I was down there when Ross was just starting his whole thing. Mm-hmm. Well, no, he was already started, but when we was just starting to push him. That's when my man Shake would come in. He's like, yo, Drew, come, I need you to meet Ross and his team, and boom, boom, boom. So that whole thing was going on. Khaled was just starting to do his thing. Flow Ride, I think, was just starting to pop. It was somebody else too around the same. So all this is going on in Miami at the same time. But seeing his work ethic and how he put in that time, I couldn't hate on him. To see where he went from that point on to where he's at now, there's no way I could hate on him.
Now, we'll give Rick Ross credit outside the name. Rick Ross picks the best beats in hip-hop for himself. I don't mean necessarily the best beats, like, period.
Yeah.
But there's nobody that picks beats that complement their style better than Rick Ross.
I agree. What am I doing here? I agree. Ross used to always had but he had a team that put together fire beats for him anyway, though. I mean, he had at the time. He had the Justice League, and he had Cool and Dre, and he had who else? Somebody else was doing this stuff. It was another person, one more person. But man, Ross was fun to work with too, especially when I was living in Miami.
Yeah, Miami had to be great times for you, bro.
Right. I had a lot of people don't know this. See, this might be breaking. I had a little modeling agency when I lived down there, and that I actually came up by mistake, and it just happened, and I actually got a couple of girls casted in a couple of videos. So. But I didn't get a chance to really get into it because I ended up having to move back to Detroit, and I didn't put, by me having to work for Def Jam, I didn't put my full time into it like I needed to.
Yeah, I can understand that. I'm not going to ask no.
But that was fun.
I'm not going to ask any more questions about the modeling agency.
Please don't.
I'm this ain't Vlad, bro. Trying to make sure everything's good when we leave. But, yo, if anybody wants to get in contact with us, I know we went over time already, so I do apologize for that. But if anybody wants to get in contact with you, how they go about doing that?
Right now it's still Drew Dada on everything. DRUDADA, Drew Dada, on Instagram, on I believe it's on everything, yeah, or Drew Rise at Facebook. But yeah, that's me.
Yo, and the love you get out here, bro, crazy.
Man, look, I love my city. I have a lot of extended family and friends, mostly family, from being in a lot of different places and doing a lot of, like I said, especially in Cleveland. I mean, I got family still in Cleveland from when I lived out there, from when I lived in Miami, people I could still call on anytime. I got mad family in Chicago that showed me mad love, but it's nothing like being at home where I get a lot of love and, like I said, when I got that award at the anniversary party from the city, that sent me over the top right there. That was mad love to get a Spirit of Detroit award from the city. So yeah, that was love. But yeah, it's a lot of, I mean, you get what you put out,
Absolutely. Shout out to Chantel, because if I remember correctly, she put together that retirement party.
Yeah, man, she did her thing, bro.
And this nigga had the nerve to tell me, I hope you did your homework.
Audacity. Hey, because I know it's not much out there on me. So it's like trying to find stuff is like pulling teeth. And then especially if you don't have a bio, it's like, what the fuck am I asking? But yeah, see, I like the way you do it because you just let it flow, and then you never know what may come out. So that's kind of cool too. So
yeah.
Especially when there's a lot of stuff that I'm not supposed to talk about, but you kind of eke it out me anyway. But.
fucking congratulations, bro. Like
Thank
that is just 30 years, nigga, at Def Jam. You Larry Cohen didn't even do 30 years. I don't think. I'm just saying, that you got to be in rare air right there, bro. Before we go, I got one more question. LL Cool J, give me one great LL Cool J story, and then we out.
Damn. It probably had to be the last time I saw him, where it's not a great story, but it just made me feel good because I hadn't seen him in probably about 20 years. It had been almost 20 years. Because the last time I saw him, I had just started working for Def Jam. And I think he was on his last album. He was doing his last album. Ooh. And so when he pulled up, we were in Chicago, and when he pulled up, we had did a couple of Zooms, but I don't think he remembered. But when we pulled up, and when the Sprinter pulled up, you see this big ass smile, and he getting off the van, and he just dapped me, showing me love. He gave me a big ass hug, and I was like, I'm going to introduce myself. He said, "Man, come on, man. I said, "Oh, you remember?" He said, "Come on, man. Of course I remember you. Obviously, you left a good impression." And from that day on, it was just the whole day was just magical. Then we went and had dinner later that night and talked about the album, talked about a whole bunch of different stuff. But yeah, that was pretty special. And then I was supposed to be with him when he came to Detroit to shoot the video with Eminem, but I messed around and I think I had a conference call today or something, so I missed it. But that's L.
Yeah, I remember seeing that nigga come out the radio back in the day on the Fresh tour.
Yeah.
I'm
What you know about Fresh? That was probably that one of my? I think that was probably my first hip hop show. No, because I saw Run DMC before that.
That was definitely mine. And if we're gonna go there before we get out, I saw Crush Groove at the Northwest.
I did too.
When it premiered, yes, nigga, we walked all the way from the crib to
I saw it there. That's what I saw there.
Yes, I'm that Detroit nigga. Okay, top 10s and campaign hats. That's how we do it around here. Anyway, I can't possibly thank you enough, bro. And if there, and it's not even an if, in my opinion. Like when you decide to do whatever it is next, because I can tell by some of the answers that you still got one foot in there. You're like, I don't want to fuck nothing up just in case. So when you do, if you need anything, bro, we got you.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
No doubt, man. And what up, though, man? I didn't get a chance to tell you that.
What up, though?
And we proud of you, bro. Nobody else.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Man. You have a phenomenal evening on purpose, man. It's been a wonderful conversation, bro. I can't possibly.
In the words of my man Jeezy, I can't lose. The whole city's behind me. Let's go, baby. Let's get it.
Shout out to Jeezy too, man. Hey, that nigga can do nothing wrong in Detroit.
At all.
He will always get a bag in Detroit, Michigan.
Now those stories is the ones yeah. But anyway, moving on. No,
you fucking with me, bro. We got to come. We got to bring you back, man. So we need some Jeezy. We need Jeezy stories because I need clips from Detroit. Anyway, man, you have a good day, bro.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
It was an honor.
Bless.
No doubt.
All right. Peace.